Welcome to the Perfectionist Guide to Mothering. I'm Andrea Fortenberry, and I'm here to help you break up with perfectionism, unrealistic expectations, and mom guilt to enjoy motherhood and love this one and only beautiful life God has given you. In these episodes, we will be real, vulnerable, and have fun too. My hope is that you will walk away encouraged and equipped for the hard and amazing work of motherhood. Welcome to episode 135 of the Perfectionist Guide to Mothering, and happy 2026. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas season and end of 2025. I really enjoyed some time off of my work with the Mom Co. to slow down and just be with my family. I slept in, I took naps, I read, I baked, I visited with friends and family. I feel like it was just what my body and soul needed after all the Christmas to-dos and events of the season. And I truly hope that you were able to slow down and rest too. For this episode of the podcast, I thought it would be fun to share some things I found life-giving in 2025 that improved my life or brought me joy. I'm a firm believer that real friends tell each other when they have food in their teeth, and they tell each other about their favorite things. I will link everything for you in the show notes, and then just full disclosure, some of the links I will include are affiliate links, which means I earn a very small commission from your purchase at no cost to you. And I only recommend things I personally use and think you will enjoy. And honestly, there are costs associated with being a podcaster and a writer and creator. And so those small commissions that come off of your purchase help me to fund the content and the tools that I create for you. So let's dive in. I have several different categories for us of things that I am loving and wanted to share with you. The first are some apps. So the first app I'm going to share is Marco Polo. This app, I feel, is a must-have for maintaining and deepening long-distance friendships. Actually, it doesn't even have to be long-distance friendships, just friendships in general, because now that I think about it, a lot of my friends that live close to me, we sometimes don't see each other that often just because of schedule and our kids' schedules, and so this is actually a great tool for any kind of friendships. So I use this regularly with several friends, and I have just found it so valuable. There is both a free and a paid version of the app. It allows you, either version that you choose, it allows you to leave video messages to your friends that they can listen to at their own convenience, and vice versa. You can record your messages and they will listen at their convenience. It's a fun way to see your friends' faces and have conversations back and forth. I highly recommend it. It's just a wonderful way to stay connected with people that you love. Okay, second app recommendation that I have for you is called Splitwise. So again, I'll link that for you, Splitwise. So I went on a girls' trip over the summer with some friends for a friend's birthday, and one gal in our group introduced us to this app. It's amazing for tracking and splitting costs between a group of people. Every time we had a meal or used an Uber, whoever paid for the purchase entered it into the app and indicated how it should be split. Is it divided evenly among everyone or only divided among specific people? And at the end of the trip, it settles all of the transactions for you and consolidates them among everyone in the entire group. So instead of the scenario where I'm paying my friend Amy $20 for lunch and Chandra $10 for the Uber and Tiffany $200 for the Airbnb, and then people owe me $20 here for lunch or $5 for coffee, right? It's a lot of money moving back and forth if you are using Venmo or PayPal or something to switch funds immediately. And instead, with Splitwise, at the end of the trip, I ended up paying my friend Stephanie $30. I just paid one person, one transaction, because it sorted and tabulated what everybody owed everybody, and it just put it down to its most simple form, and I paid one person $30. So it works out. So again, you're only paying one amount among all the parties. I feel like it's just a game changer. And You can input everything like right as you're purchasing it, so you're not having to keep track later. It was amazing. So whoever invented Splitwise, thank you. And I hope that you try it out and find it valuable. Okay, next category that I have for you are products. So I'm going to share some of my favorite things. Again, I will include some links for you. So the first product I want to talk about is called Power Sheets. You have likely heard me mention Power Sheets before, and if you subscribe to my email list, which I hope you do, if not, I will include the link for you to do that in the show notes. I often include a link to Power Sheets in my email where I include 5 fun things for you because I love this product so much. It is a goal setting planner / journal that helps you take your goals and dreams and break them into bite-sized pieces that you can work toward and actually achieve. So instead of just having this dream or like a lofty goal floating in your head, you take it from your head, you put it on paper and break it down into small pieces you can make progress on. I have really enjoyed it. I'm going into my 3rd year of using it, and I just love being able to have a place to formulate and create my goals, and then also to have a place to track them on a regular basis. It's really fun to look back and see the progress that I have made. I love Power Sheets so much that I am actually an affiliate for them. And if you use the code Andrea Fortenberry when you check out, you will receive 10% off your purchase. And as I'm recording this, last time I checked just 2 days ago when I sent the link to a friend, the Power Sheets were all on sale. So you get the sale price plus you can get that 10% off on top. So I hope you enjoy it. I am going to grab mine for those of you watching on video. So this year I chose the beautiful green leaf color. I just love the design, the pages, like the way it all feels. And I keep my Power Sheets on my desk where I can see it regularly, and I will talk a little bit more about that here in a couple of minutes. If you do get a Power Sheets goal planner, I encourage you to also convince a friend to get one and work through them together. It's really great to have accountability and someone to be cheering you on, and you can cheer your friend on throughout the year to work toward your goals together. Okay, next product is a hanging travel toiletry bag from Target. I previously had used this 31 bag that I had been given as a gift years ago and really enjoyed it. I loved the color, I liked it, but eventually it was just not big enough to hold everything that I take when I travel. And when I went on the previously mentioned girls trip over the summer, we were staying in an Airbnb, and the bathroom that I was using with my friend, it had just a pedestal sink and no countertop, like no space, no drawer, no basket, no storage anywhere for us to take our things. So I was kind of carting it back and forth, and I was juggling that bag plus this additional bag that I had to bring because not everything fit together. And it was just challenging to get ready for the day and then get ready for bed again at night. And my friend Stephanie had this hanging bag that she just very easily put on the towel hook on the door. And I was like, aha, genius, I need to get a bag like that. And so I went to Target. I found this bag. It has 3 great compartments, actually 4, another little zippered compartment. I like that most of the compartments are clear, so you can actually see where your things are and you're not having to dig through. Game changer. I forget how much it was. I want to say it was $20 or $25. Well worth the purchase. It wipes clean on the outside. It has some handles. I am loving it. Okay, next product that I have for you is this Elemis face oil. So I received a travel size of this. It was like a free gift with purchase, and I have really been enjoying this oil. The one I'm using is a marine collagen oil, but I actually just ordered another one that they have that's a little bit less expensive. Elemis is pricey, but I do enjoy their products. My skin is just so dry now in the winter, and then also just as I am getting older, my skin I feel like is drier, which is just interesting interesting because for years I felt like I had oily skin, and then all of a sudden now I have dry skin. So I love this oil. I have been putting it on over the past couple of weeks just in the morning before I put on my moisturizer, and it helps my skin to feel more hydrated, and it just leaves it with this nice dewy glow. I have noticed it's not oily, like I'm not having shine a whole lot, but it just kind of saturates my skin with some extra moisture, which again, we probably all are needing if we are living in the northern hemisphere where it is winter right now. So I will link that for you in the show notes. Okay, next product that I have loved and only was able to use for the last couple of days of 2025, but it is my Ember mug. It had been on my wish list for a really long time, and my husband bought me one for Christmas. It is amazing. So this mug keeps your hot beverage warm for 80 minutes or even longer if you keep it on a charging pad that it comes with. And I drink a cup of English breakfast tea every day, and it's always sad when you get to like the bottom fourth of your drink and it's cold. It just isn't the same. And this Ember mug keeps it warm, and it's so delightful to have warm tea all the way to the end. There are a variety of colors and sizes that you can choose from, and I will again link it for you in the show notes. It is an investment for sure. Like I said, it had been on my wish list for a long time, but if you are wanting a way to keep your coffee or tea warm, highly recommend the Ember mug. Okay, let's chat about books now. So I'm going to share my favorite nonfiction and then fiction book that I read last year. So the nonfiction is called Mother and Son, The Respect Effect by Dr. Emerson Eggerichs. I really believe that all moms of boys should read this book, no matter their age. If you have a little baby or toddler boy, or if you have elementary, teenage son, even a grown son, I think this book will really help. I will admit it took me a little while to work through it because it's very much a learning book. So I kind of took it slowly. I think I read it over a couple month period, to be honest, because I wanted to absorb it and apply it to my life. I feel like, though, the knowledge that I gained is really life-changing for raising my son. It talks about how as women and moms, we have a need for love. And because we have this need, that's what we pour out to the people in our lives. But what men really need is respect, even little men in your life. And so the book teaches moms how to speak respect, not just love, to our sons. And I like that it breaks it down into all different ages and stages. It gives you great words and conversations that you can use, phrases you can use for the different phases of the son in your life, even when they are little boys. And I am just finding it especially helpful in this stage of raising a teenage son and trying to validate his need for respect and to speak that into his life as his mom. So highly recommend that book. Also, just a side note, Dr. Emerson Eggerichs really became well known for his book Love and Respect, which is a marriage book about, again, how women need love, men need respect, and how we can each give each other those desires within the role of marriage, but also, again, it does apply to parenting. So I love this book, the spinoff, Mother and Son, for parenting. Okay, fiction book. I will admit that I am primarily a nonfiction book reader. I feel like just generally that's the genre I lean toward, but I have been exploring more fiction. I'll share about that in a little bit as well. So in 2025, my favorite fiction book that I read was The Women by Kristen Hanna. I really enjoy historical fiction, and I thought this book was really amazing because it covered a topic that we don't often read about or hear about, and it was a hard read in some ways. It's about nurses who served during the Vietnam War, but I am a firm believer that we must learn about the hard parts of history so that we do not repeat them. And I definitely recommend this one for your reading list. Again, it is a little bit heavier, but it's really important, and I felt like it was just really well done. Okay, Let's chat now about rhythms. So, I have a whole lot under this topic because I love that word rhythm, because those of us who have that perfectionist mindset have a hard time with not being 100% at something, or not getting the A plus, or like the perfect streak all the time. But the reality of being a mom and a wife and maybe an employee, like juggling all the things that we have on our plate, sometimes it's just not possible to be 100% at whatever we're working toward. Plus, we sometimes have this all or nothing approach that we have to exercise every single day, or we have to, again, achieve 100% all the time. We can't ever miss. I like instead to have this open approach and have a rhythm that allows for grace and days where maybe our kids are sick, or we are sick, or life is just chaotic. And so we needed to not exercise or clean our house or whatever for a day or a week, whatever that looks like. I just really appreciate the concept of a rhythm. I feel like, again, it's just a more grace-filled pace. So that's why I like that word rhythm. So the first rhythm I want to share is about my power sheets. So I already talked about that a little bit, but what I like about the power sheets and a rhythm that I feel like it helps me create is that each month there is what's called a tending list to help you track your monthly goals / projects, your weekly action items / rhythms, and also your daily action items / habits, things that you want to be more of a habit. I keep my tending list on my desk right over here where I can see it every day so that I can make it a rhythm to track my progress regularly. Does this mean I track it every day? No, not even when I can see it right in front of my face. Sometimes I just miss it. But again, it's a rhythm that I look at it regularly and track things. Okay, next rhythm that I want to talk about is faster way to fat loss. So last year, my friend Sarah Martin, who I've had on the podcast before, she is a faster way to fat loss coach. And again, I've had her on the podcast, and I have just really enjoyed watching her journey and her health progress over the past couple of years. And this last year, I just knew I needed to get into a better rhythm for exercise and taking care of my body. So I decided to join one of Sarah's 6-week Faster Way challenges, and I have been with the program since then. I just really appreciate the setup of the program, that it's 30-minute workouts, that you can easily track your macros. They have such great valuable content in the app, and then I really enjoy that part of it is that Sarah is my health coach, and she is there to answer questions and provide accountability and encouragement along the way. And I will say my scale has not moved much since I started it, but I feel so much better, and I love that I have established better rhythms and habits for fueling and moving my body. If you are interested in Faster Way, I will put the link in the show notes, but know that none of this episode is to pressure you or like force you to buy the products I'm recommending. Again, it's really just me sharing something that I have found helpful. And for you, so know that with this one, my encouragement, as we're all kind of thinking about health and fitness around this time of year, is to just find something that works for you. And sometimes that means we have to try different things and pivot and try again. But I just want to encourage you to invest in your health in all its forms, because you are important, you are valuable and worth taking care of. And when you invest in yourself, it's a direct blessing to your family and everyone around you. So find something that works for you and take care of yourself well. Okay, next rhythm is Bible study. So for a long time, I had wanted to do a Bible study with my daughter, but it just never worked out. She didn't seem interested. And then one time we even started, but then she wasn't keeping up with the homework, and I would nag her about it, which would just make her less interested. So I decided to just back off. I was like, okay, I would love to do this. She's not into it. I'm just going to back off for now. But fast forward a couple of years, and I had the idea to include a few of her friends and their moms. And so then she became interested. So we meet every other Sunday afternoon. We've been doing that this school year, and it has been a delightful new rhythm in our lives. So just some encouragement if you are looking for a way to do Bible study with your kids or with others. Think about maybe having your kids' friends and their parents join along, or invite a group of other moms or friends to join. It's fun to do Bible study in community. And along those lines, next rhythm is book club. So even though I have been a lifelong bibliophile, I didn't join a book club until summer 2024. And I just enjoy it so much. It's built-in friend time, plus it gets me reading, which is sometimes a challenge in the midst of everyday life. So we gather once a month. We read a wide variety of books. Everyone gets to pick a different book. I feel like it's gotten me out of my literary comfort zone, and it helps me discover new reads and new authors that I am enjoying. Okay, next rhythm is habit stacking. So the one I'm going to mention is just one example, but there are a lot of ways that we can habit stack. So I'll give the example and then kind of unpack it a little. So I enjoy going to this sauna studio that's a couple minutes away from my house. I try to go once a week for quiet and just the health benefits. If you have never been to an infrared sauna, I recommend it. Like, it just feels so good to get in there and sweat. Like, the temperature is like 140 degrees, or you can make it even higher. I usually just keep it there. And you just like sweat it out for 40 minutes, and you can either listen to like the relaxing music, and like they have the fun backgrounds on the TV while that's playing, or you can even watch, Netflix or Prime or something like that. But I just enjoy the quiet and like the relaxing music, and I try to go once a week to just carve out that time for myself. And one thing that I have recently been doing is stacking with that habit, the habit of taking my car to the car wash. So they're in the same parking lot, and I have found it's so valuable to get there 5 minutes early, drop my car at the car wash, and then let them know, hey, I'm not going to be out right away. I'll just leave the car with you for a little bit. I walk over to the sauna studio, do my session, and then walk back over and get my car. And it has just been very nice to kind of kill two birds with one stone, like combine those habits together, because otherwise sometimes it's like, oh, I got to go back out of my way to go back to the car wash and things like that. So I just try to incorporate it all together, and it's been super valuable. So think about in your life, are there habits that you could stack or combine together? So maybe it's while you are brushing your teeth, you have your book or your devotional there, so that in the morning as you're brushing your teeth, you're reading your 2-minute devotional. Or it could be as you are having lunch on your lunch break, you put a magazine at your place at the table so that you can peruse and read through the magazines you enjoy while you're eating your meal, which maybe some people would not recommend, but you get my idea. You can be doing two things together that are achieving your goals. Or one last one I'm thinking of is put your vitamins at your place at the table. So while you're eating, you take your vitamins, right? Like just little things that you can stack together that just from now on, our brains kind of think, oh, this goes together. These two things, when I do one, the other one comes along with it. So think about in your own life, what are some habits you can stack? Okay, next rhythm is travel. I truly feel like travel fulfills my soul, parts of my soul. I love visiting new places and having time away from everyday life to experience new and different things. And so this past year, I got to do a few trips, and this coming year, I have quite a bit of travel as well. So just want you to think about, what could travel look like for you? And in the years when my kids were younger, we did not travel a lot. And if we did, it was often to like go visit family, or we would take like one family trip together. And so I totally get that this is a season of life thing. And now that my kids are teenagers, I'm in the stage where travel is more possible. But think about even local travel. Where could you travel in your area for the day, for an overnight? to help you explore and experience new things. I think as moms, especially if you are a stay-at-home mom, our world can get really small because we're at home with our kids all day. I've totally been there. And so having some travel to look forward to and think about and plan can be really fun. It could even be, again, an overnight locally, like a staycation. And think not only about travel with your family and your kids, but think about with friends or just with your spouse as a way that you could get away and connect. And I think it's just valuable to be away from our normal environment. That helps us to just have some renewed perspective and clarity and energy. So think about in your life, where would you want to go? How could you save up for it? And when would you go? When could you put it on your calendar for this upcoming year? Okay, last category that I have for you are new things. So I'm sharing new things that I have tried recently that I think you will enjoy or could possibly incorporate into your own life. So first one is early morning tea and reading. So this could also be considered a habit stacking. So I used to drink my tea mid-morning, like 10 o'clock-ish, kind of when I was ready to have a snack, and I would often take it as I'm prepared to get on a Teams meeting for work and would drink it then. But during December, I had the idea, I think partially because it's cold in the morning, and then also partially because I thought I would kind of slow down in the mornings in December to really linger in my Advent readings and sitting by my Christmas tree. I thought I would try it. So I must say that I have loved it. I just love kind of having slower morning, like just extra time. And so I am likely going to carry this one forward with me into this year, at least for the winter season. I may change it up as it gets warmer, especially living here in Arizona. I may not want a hot tea first thing in the morning, although I generally do drink hot tea still in the summer now that I think about it. But also, just a little pause that we can have seasonal practices and things we do. It doesn't have to be for the whole year. So like I said, this early morning tea and reading, I think I'm going to definitely carry through the winter, and then we'll see from there. But I just like how I'm combining the tea and the reading. Normally I do get up and do my devotional and read a Bible chapter or two, but then I would okay, it's time to exercise like next thing, but having my tea early in the morning like helps me linger a little longer, and then I still am able to exercise and get ready for the day, but I just enjoy the pace of a slower morning. And again, this is totally my season for that. When my kids were little and in elementary school and I had to take them to school, this was not reality. But I'm sharing this with you to encourage you to think of some new things for your own life, but also to remind you that to everything there is a season. And so if you are not able to enjoy your coffee and reading slow in the morning, because I wasn't for a really long time. Now I'm in that spot. So just have hope and be encouraged that some of the things that you're not able to do right now, you can look forward to in a different season. So don't wish away your current season. Enjoy it in all its blessings. And then again, things change. So you may be able to try something new like this in a future season. Okay, next one is making sourdough bread. So I know this is super popular. Like I jumped on the train. I attempted it actually a couple of years ago to make my own starter from scratch 2 summers ago, I think. And I followed Paul Hollywood's recipe from his cookbook like to a T, and it was a huge failure. I tried it. It did not work. I kind of had a post-mortem with my friend Stephanie, who is an amazing culinary expert, and she gave me some ideas for why it went wrong. So I was like, okay, take this knowledge forward, fail forward. And I knew I wanted to try it again at some point, but just never got around to it. But this past fall, my friend Erica told me that she was baking sourdough bread. And so I was kind of telling her my story, and she was like, hey, I'll just give you some of my starter, and then tell you what I do and you can go from there. So that seemed doable, a little less risky, a little easier. So she gave me her starter back at like the end of November, and I've been baking ever since. And it has been a fun new hobby. It's not as difficult as I thought it would be, but I am, learning and still tweaking some things, but it has been delicious nourishment and a fun way to enjoy sourdough bread, which is my favorite. I love it toasted with butter and raspberry jam and on a grilled cheese. Makes it so much better. So after my first few loaves, I noticed that we were only finishing like half to 3/4 of the loaf before I was ready to bake another one once a week. And I just thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start 2 starters and bake 2 loaves a week. So now what I do is I do that. I keep half of each loaf for us, and then I give the other half away. It's a fun way to enjoy fresh bread at home regularly, and then also allows me to bless someone else with the other half of the loaf. So it's been fun. I've been enjoying it and learning along the way. Okay, I'm going to share now some new recipes that I have tried. So first is my sourdough bread recipe that I follow. I will link that for you in the show notes in case you're curious. And again, it's been a lot easier than I thought it would be. If you are interested in starting to bake sourdough bread, I would encourage you find a friend or someone local who can give you some of their starter, and then you can just follow this recipe and go from there. It's pretty easy. Okay, the next recipe is Pioneer Woman's Minestrone Soup. So I have 2 friends who are in my life and in my book club. One is a vegetarian and the other is allergic to wheat. And so when it was my turn to host book club in November, I thought, okay, it's fall, it's colder, let's do a soup. And so I remembered about minestrone soup, which I enjoy and love. So I found this recipe and I made it with gluten-free noodles and vegetable broth instead of chicken broth for my vegetarian friend, and it was so yummy. It had great flavor, and it even was a little spicy because it has some red pepper flakes in it, and I loved it. It makes a giant pot. Like, I had so much left over. So if you do make it, I encourage you to invite people over or freeze some for a quick meal to have again in the future. And it pairs great with sourdough bread, by the way. Well, friends, I thought that was a lot of fun to share those things with you. I hope you found the recommendations enjoyable and helpful. And like I said before, I believe friends share their favorite things, and those are some of mine I have found from the past year. I would love to know if you do decide to try any of them, or I would love to know some of your favorites as well. So please send me an email at andrea@andreafortenberry.com. I would love to hear from you, and I'm excited for this year ahead. I'm excited to bring you new episodes in this new year, and excited to launch my book into the world and into your hands on April 7th. You can pre-order 2-minute timeouts for new moms, 100 devotions for weary and wonderful days now on Amazon, and it will be on your doorstep on April 7th when it releases to the world. So thank you so much for listening. I am excited again for the new year. I hope you are well, and know that I pray for you. I think of you, and I'm so grateful that you spent some time with me during these episodes, and I really just hope to encourage you and help provide valuable tools to help you love your beautiful life. Thanks, and I will catch you next time.